it's Michelle from the Scattered Scrapper. Welcome to my channel. It's Scrap-O-WEEN Day 19 and it's time for Trick or Treat Tuesday. And the technique that I'm going to be using today is making a background with stamps. I have a bunch of Halloween stamps that I've not used enough of, and some background stamps that I want to see if I can use. I've got some inks, some Memento inks, and my Distress Oxide inks. I have some punches I want to use, and some ephemera and stickers and die cuts and some paper, and let's get started. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make some pencil marks to designate where my picture is going to go, and I'm going to avoid stamping inside that because it's just going to get covered up. And I'm going to go through all my stamps and pick out which ones I think I'm going to want to use. The picture that I'm going to be scrapbooking today is a picture of us from October of 2017. We had gone to Busch Gardens Howl-O-Scream, and the character that we're standing beside has lost her head. She has no head. So here I'm just going to use this background stamp, and I'm not going to really care what it, kind of what it looks like or where I'm putting it. It's just giving me a little base foundation for where I'm going to put the rest of my stamps. And then I'm just going to go through and pick out which ones that I want to use. I'm going to start out with this Halloween stamp. Oh, that's so pretty. I like that. I'm not really caring if I don't get a very clean stamp. This is just going to be kind of my background. So if some of them aren't, fully impressioned, if it's kind of missing some places, that's okay. It's just going to be in the background. So let's see, just a couple more here, and then I'm going to switch to a finished background. Oh, I like that one. That one stamps really well. So I've got pumpkins, and I've got, let's see what this one. Oh, spider web, pumpkins, spider web, zombie arms sticking out. I've got little ghosts and bats and stars. So I'm just going to be placing those all the way around. And I haven't used some of these stamps, so I'm rubbing them on my arm to prime them. And of course I dropped the ink pad, but that's okay. It just becomes part of the background. This little ghost is so cute. Put that there, and I'm just slowly building around. And I really should have put a third Halloween, and I'm going to remedy that a little bit later, and you'll see it when I switch over. And then I'm going to put on some bats, and I'm just wherever they'll fit, wherever they will look good, or just kind of tucking them in. I'm just going to go all the way around. These little eyes are really cool. No, oh, that's the stars. The little eyes I think are really cool looking too. But there's some stars. And there we go. The last thing that I'm going to put on is a moon and stars. And see, I've got the little eyes. They're so cute. Some of them look really sinister. So I'm going to put this one here, and that's going to do it. And then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use some Dilutions ink spray. And let's see, it's called Crushed Grape, and I'm just going to sprinkle that all around. And that is going to do it for my background. So I'm going to pop that out of the box, and then I'm going to clean up, and there we go. And I have backed my background just on some black cardstock, and now I am cutting some strips out of some paper because I'm going to use these behind my photo. I start out with a 1-inch strip of the purple and the gray. And then I think, oh, I need a third one, but what do I want to use? So I think, oh, this orange polka dot goes really well with the flowers. And I love that flower paper. It is so pretty. But as I went to put it away, I saw this kind of like harlequin looking paper. And so I picked that out instead. And I think there's a good mix of patterns. So here is my Fiskars punch, and these Fiskars punches work so well. I really like these. I have an American Crafts knockouts system, and it works, but it doesn't work quite as well as this one. So that's how I do my strips. I kind of start in the middle and work my way down to one end, and then go back to the middle and work my way to the other. And you can see there I've got the 3 of those punched. And here I'm just going to tear some paper, and I used my scissors to kind of distress the distress. Give it some more texture. And then I'm going to decide where I want my strips to be. And these two, the gray one and the orange one, are punched with the same punch. And then this purple one was punched with my knockouts system. And it has a little bit different scallop versus the other two. And I had cut them at 1 inch so I could punch them really well. And now I'm going to trim them down to the size that I want. And there we go. Got those done. And now I'm going to start gluing things down. We're going to start committing. And of course that ATG tape does not like to play with this little thin foam. I don't know why. It's such nice foam. And so here I'm going to situate where I want this and then trim it to the length that I want. And then I'm going to put down some ATG. It works just fine with the paper. Doesn't have a problem with the paper, but boy, it does not like that foam. And here, now what I could have done was just go ahead and, glue them down and then trim them. But here I'm just trimming them and then gluing them down. And then making sure that I have them in varying lengths. They're very similar, but they are a little bit different. So here I'm just going to make sure they are right where I want them. And now I'm going to tape down the whole shebang. And oh yes, we've got the glue on there, and it didn't give too much fuss. So here I'm going to sit it down, and I have it a little crooked, so thankfully I didn't press down too hard so I could pick it back up again. And now I'm going to use these bats that I cut out with a bat die that I have and some black glittered paper that I got out of like a recollections pad. And I put this bat up a little bit too high, so I'm going to pull out my T-square and make sure that they're pretty well the same height. And I got my inspiration from a layout that I found on Pinterest, and I'll link that below. And in the inspiration piece where the bats are really big arrows. So that gave me the idea to use these bats, and I think that it turned out really well. Now, here's the question, y'all. Have you ever literally fought with your title? Inquiring minds want to know, because this title just we get into a tussle, guys. We really do. So I know I want it underneath the photo. I thought about putting it at the top, but I didn't want to cover up that Halloween that's up there. So I'm gonna just put this on here and see how it looks. And it looks fine. It really does. But look, that she lost her. I mean, that looks like a sandwich to me. I mean, like it does. It looks like one of them, like a hamburger or something. It sits there and it just looks weird. So I pull out the die cuts and I'm thinking I'll find like a base to put these on. And this little arrow thing is cute. I think, well, maybe I'll use this one because it's purple. So there's, some purple on the page. And as I'm going through here, I'm also finding other things to put on my page. But this title, oh, we're going round and round. I'm having fits. So I'm looking through, trying to find some other things, and I am eyeballing that title, and I'm like, you have got to work. So I think, oh, well, maybe this label thing will work. So I go to put it on here, and no, I hate it. So I'm going to put it back on my wax paper and keep looking. There has to be something. There just has to. But I do find these little tombstones. They are so adorable. One of them says, I haven't found it yet. Well, one of them right now says haunt and the other one says cute. So I find this other label and I like this label. I think it looks really neat and cute until I put the Lost on there and I'm like, it's too big. It doesn't fit. It's still going to look like a hamburger, but just with more stuff squishing out of it. So I don't like that at all. So I keep going. I'm looking through all of these die cuts. Is there anything else? Oh yeah, there's another little tombstone. It says RIP, which stands for Really Interesting Photo. And I find this tab and it says Creep Factor. And I've pulled out the other die cut pack for this collection. It's a Bella Boulevard collection. I don't remember the name of it now. But so I think, oh, I'm going to try this little ghost. I'm going to put this ghost here. And then I could probably put this on top of the ghost and it won't look like a sandwich. But I can't get the little ghost to work. So I'm like, no, I can't use that. So I keep going. I'm looking through and I'm going to come across a tag that sets some things in motion that remedies my problem with this title. So here's the tag. And now here we go. Things are going to start coming together. I put this tag here and think, oh, I'll just put she lost her on the tag. So it's made me move head over. And I like it that it's kind of bumping up and down. But this she lost her is not going to fit on this tab. So the tag goes away. So I think, well, there's something that can fit there because I'm loving how head looks. And this little pumpkin is really good. So I think, oh, I can put she lost her in between the riser of the H and the D. But I have a problem. The letter tiles for she and her are too big. I'm determined. So I go and find some orange tile stickers that are smaller. And guys, this is it. Now it's working. It finally loves me. I'm not having to fight with my title anymore. And it looks really cute. And it doesn't look like a sandwich or a hamburger sitting over there. But I love that little pumpkin jack-o'-lantern beside it. So now I'm feeling so much more happy with it. It looks really cute. It has a whimsy like the headless lady does. So now I'm ready to commit to everything and I'm putting these little words over the bats. And then I'm going to put down this teal strip or blue strip says, we are all here for the Halloween fun. And I'm going to put a little bit of foam on the end because I had foam on my photo and I'm going to overlap it on my photo. And then I'm going to see if my tab looks better somewhere else, but it doesn't. So I'm going to just put that right back where it was. And I'm going to pop these little tombstones up on some foam as well. At first, I just put some tape on it and then stick it up there. But then I'm like, yeah, that's going to need some support. It's kind of sticking up there. So I get a little more foam and I'll just cut it into these little small pieces so I can put it on the back of the tombstone. And then, thankfully, the ATG and the foam didn't fight this time, so There was a lot of fighting going on with this layout. But these look so cute, all lined up right after that Halloween. I just love that. And I think that's pretty much going to do it. I'm going to put a little bit of journaling up under head that just talks about us being there, having our picture made with the headless woman. And I think that's going to do it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe. And I will see you all tomorrow for Pocket Page Wednesday. Oops. Bye-bye.